Okay, well, here we go. I think that it's important to think about this title. We're going to start with memory holding, and we're going to jump around. So, reason I say this is because, sorry for the dead air. I'm just trying to think carefully about what I say. Um, we saw a recent United Airlines flight where the engine was nearly broken off the aircraft, where you could see the flames and everything else. And apparently did drop, luckily, in the front yard and then looked like a baseball diamond of this place in Colorado because it was from Denver to Honolulu, I believe. So, it's just holy shnikes, man. I mean, this is gonna, definitely be something that people are gonna talk about, but nothing is going to change with that. And like I say, I'm sure millions of stories have been memory holed. And this story is going to be memory hold as well. Because the thing is, US media is set up where, for the most part, more and more people that have died of hypothermia now. Yeah. US media in general is set up where if it's something structural, or if it's something that, you see a US serviceman go in and, shoot up a place, these are not talked about. They aren't, they aren't mentioned again. They're mentioned in a very, quick way. Next day, you never hear about it. But if it's something that the system can benefit from, then it will be continued to be brought up. But even then, it's very brief and it's very, very shallow, such as the issue of what happened on January 6th. People are continuing to bring up these little aspects, but it's still the basic story, right? So, in general, we see that, these things aren't going to happen. And the reason the United States has stayed afloat as long as it has, I think, is because of memory holding. Back in the day, even up through the 60s or the 1970s, arguably, a lot of stories could be memory hole, and you don't talk about it. You had to find these rare, obscure books to even hear about some of these things. It's like in general, people didn't really give a hoot that much about Roswell until a guy came out and he wanted to make some money, and now Roswell is seen as a big, tourist place. You know, and you have to think about it like that. The United States is just, that system is breaking down. So now with the internet and with, specifically TikTok, or with people being able to record videos, now we see a whole different structure being made. And of course, moves are going to be made. I will give a shout out to Jason Unruh. Jason Unruh does prove to me that, he has some use by saying that, yeah, now your internet search histories are going to be used for your credit score. Uh, potentially. Which is pretty scary. It is, I guess I'm gonna have to become more of a normie, and but I don't know. I think it's too late for people like me. I guess I think it is. Anyway, you know, of a lot of events that occur that we just don't hear about, or you hear about in passing, and then people will write whole books on it. And I think that, slowly but surely it's becoming where people cannot ignore these things. And eventually people will find organizations that speak to their anger. Now, they're not all going to be left wing. They're not all going to be progressive groups that want, free healthcare for everybody. You catch my drift. So it's not going to be pretty. Yeah, we've seen the U.S. infrastructure continue to not meet demand. We have seen, a country that will toss out 90, I think he was 95-year-old man who was a guard at the concentration camp sent back to Germany. This guy lived in the United States for something like 70 years or something like that in Tennessee. And they're going to send him back. This is where we're at, And I know that's more of a Wignat point, that last one, but it goes to show just how ridiculous we are. The absurdities don't end, do they? But I still hold the belief that the decline is just going to be continuing on down. And certain areas will be better off, like I say. But certain areas within large cities, not within, the not the whole city, just parts of it. And even then, it will just be for come to our city and, to bring people in. Is it going to be like that for the whole city? No. It's like Houston or Dallas or Fort Worth or Flower Mound or wherever. These are places that, are going to be shown to see, hey, look, we're successful. But you don't want to see the bad parts. You don't want to see the old factories that are closed down where people shoot up and everything. Or better yet, heroin really isn't chic. I was going to see people that are, popping pills and whatnot, that are smoking meth. So, yeah. I think I don't think there's much of it's always been that way to a point. I don't think that's a hard thing to see, but yeah. It's just disappointing to say the least, and it's going to be depressing. But what else are you going to do? Not much, is there? uh, we're going to be sitting through this decline, just seeing it happen on our, laptop screens or our phone screens, and just seeing it happen. Hell, it could be happening, within your city, and you're just like, oh, I'm going to watch, And that's what we've become, I don't know. Just one of the realities of what we live in today, you know. Anyway, I think I've said my piece. Apologies for all the dead air. Hope y'all enjoy that. See you later. Goodbye.